some of that issue with where the edge of the mat can be a little bit shorter. If a wrestler does end up touching the gym floor, it's an automatic out of bounds that way. So I thought that change back to what made sense really was simplified in from a officiating standpoint, from a wrestler standpoint,
Yep.
things like that. So it's happy to see that change come into play. We'll see how long it lasts. Like I said, it seems like we argue about out of bounds every year about how it should be called.
So we're on the 144-pound match here for Columbus. I believe this is Juan Negretti wrestling Jordan Mailing from East Marshall. Mealing's currently winning 3-0, about 15 seconds left in the first.
Well, and it does sound like we're moving into actual varsity matches over on the black mat. We did have a handful of those were JV matches. Did get that confirmed from our track wrestling expert, Brandon Bolin, who's now up in the booth. Certainly ready to take over for me at any moment here, which I will welcome. I'm about out of content anyway. But we've got another takedown by the East Marshall kid. So that should put them up 6-0 in this match with about a minute 40 left to go in the second period. Do have a look like we're having in a fall position over here on the black mat. Yep, and that's what it ends up being for the West Marshall wrestler. Just a minute and 6 seconds into that period. Got a takedown, took him to his back, and got the fall.
Like East Marshall scored 4 near fall maybe, as it's 10-0 now, minute to go in the second period. Just working to get that arm on Juan's back.
Yeah, this position here for Juan is one that is you got to prevent this before it starts, right? You get too deep into this position and it's not a good position to be in. It's going to tie you up pretty good. You've got to see that coming way ahead of time, and part of that's position of his on the bottom, whether or not he's on his belly, where his hands are at, getting tied up, and then fighting this off. This isn't a lot of fun either. This is a tough road for bottom wrestler, but he's working. He's got his hand free now. That's hand for back out front, which is where I want to see it. Now we can build up to his knees.
Hopefully not give it back up.
Yeah, and that's you lose track of that, and that's something that happens, right? And it's not uncommon. You start thinking about what you're doing, and all of a sudden you lose track of your hands, and it's tied up again. Good wrestlers will find those pretty quickly as soon as you give an opening for it. Just coming down to about 5-6 seconds left to go in this period. 10-0, East Marshall. Period 3 looks like going to be Columbus's choice. He's going to take top. He's had enough of being on the bottom of that, which I don't blame him.
Marshall works up to his feet. Got an illegal headlock there. It's going to be 1 penalty point for East Marshall, making 11-0. But we'll get a restart with Columbus Juan in the top position. Maybe he can keep him down, work for a turn.
Well, and that position there, I like where he was trying to go with that, but you cannot hang out over top with that arm. That you've got to either get that cradle and work to it, or you've got to get back behind the arms and stay in good position. Usually you learn that after a few matches of doing it, and it ends up putting you where you're at. And that'll be the improvement that every team will work for. This is the first duel of the year.
Yeah. Unless East Marshall had a duel Tuesday, but not many schools around the state did, so I believe this is probably their first one. East Marshall record the pin there to get on the team scoreboard. Right now the scoreboard is reading 18-6, Columbus lead.
Well, it looks like we're starting the second period over in the black mat. Quick reversal for West Marshall.
Marshall is Landon Miller, and from Columbus, Francisco Mendoza-Diaz.
So here we have Francisco Mendoza-Diaz for Columbus and Landon Miller for East Marshall.
Yeah, I'm familiar with Franny. He's been around the program here. Is he a senior?
Yes.
Yeah, senior this year. That makes sense. But he's a little bit. I don't want to say heavier, but almost healthier at the weight that he's at right now. We'll see how that works out. And you don't know what these guys are doing either, as far as their how they come down in weight. Obviously, that's controlled by the state. Is your descent plan that you'll be doing? Some of these guys they may come down 1 or 2 weight classes before the season's over. I don't know if Franny will be in that spot. Later in our wrestling careers and coaching and everything like that, we were way more interested in seeing those kids be healthy and strong and kind of like life a little bit better. I think the rule changes that they made several years ago, where we're weighing in, an hour before a duel, forced out a lot of the bad habits that we saw with weight cutting in wrestling. You go back to the days of when I was weighing in. We'd weigh in the morning, and by the time some of those guys hit the mat, they were 10, 12 pounds heavier than they were when they were weighing in. So, and it wasn't healthy. And so I applauded that. I know my dad, as a wrestling coach for a long time, he was happy to see some of those rules come in and take some of that out of there. And I think it's been good for the sport. I think it's been great for the athlete as well. Looks like we're heading into the third period over on the black mat. We got an 8-1 score. Assuming West Marshall on that. As fast as I saw him scoring that reversal, I'm sure he's been putting up some points here.
Looks like West Marshall as a team's been doing pretty good. Up 17-0 over BCLUW at the 126-pound weight class. Once again, I believe this round started at 113. Franny's going to start on the second period here on top. Franny working on top, working that crossface, trying to work a butcher to get a turn. Once again, he is down 3-0 in the second period. Sticks a leg in, but also leaning off to his side. You can hear the East Marshall coaches telling him to grab his head. Franny's trying to stay tight, trying to work for back points. Needs to be careful for the neutral or defensive pin. It was pretty flat there, but not for too long.
Nope.
Gives up the reversal there. It'll be 5-0. It was a good job by him to fight off his back, at least not give up any more than just the reversal. But he wants to come back, needs to start making some moves here as he's down 5-0.
Yeah, I think I'd like to see him build up, maybe get to an escape position, get one. Get back on your feet, see if you can get a takedown. But I think East Marshall's done a pretty good job. The last 2 matches we've seen these hands get tied up from our bottom position, their top position. They work in wrist. Looks like they like to get into that armbar, chicken wing, whatever you have, depending on the room, what you want to call it. But we are back on our feet. We're 5 seconds left to go in this second period, which is where we wanted to see. Just mentioned that, step one down, got an escape, got some breathing room, get back out there and get going. The other thing that you tend to see a lot in these first early matches is our shape's still coming along. We're not in match shape. We're breathing a little heavier. It's not like wrestling in the room. The adrenaline's pumping a little bit, and next thing we know, we're trying to catch our breath a little bit, late coming into this third period. So not unusual. Not. You saw it at the college level. I think I watched a pretty important duel where I thought I saw some kids that might have been a little bit winded and a little bit tired when they were wrestling into that third period, which, there is some of that where you've got to get in match shape. You got to get used to it. Your adrenaline your heart rate has to come back down and be used to being there. And so that's why we wrestle a lot of matches. Get our hip off the mat here would be good. But either way, from a coaching standpoint, I think, as long as I'm seeing some high-level effort, we continue to battle no matter what position we're in, and that's what we want. That's what we want.
Franny gives up reversal there, 7-1. East Marshall with a minute to go. See Mrs. Marshall, like the previous wrestler, the previous weight, working the wrist, grabbing Franny's wrist, trying to pull it in. Franny hits a roll.
Oh, there you go, Franny. There we go, Franny. That's a little spark. That's not giving up in the third.
7-3, 45 seconds to go.
Would have been great if we could have caught him on his back for a 4 count, but
would have been nice.
Like I said, keep battling the entire match. That pays off. That pays off down the road. If you're always battling, always wrestling hard, always looking for points. That pays off later in the season if it doesn't come to you right here, right now. So we've got a chance now. If he could get that arm up and get a little bit more power half on it, I think he gets enough to get some back points. Work that out. I'd like to see that left arm come in.
Yep.
Get a little elbow high, get that turn,
some more
hips on top, and then he's going to probably get a count if he can get to that. But he's controlling the position right now. And I think if we go back a period, that's what we were looking for was to finish on top here. So not a bad match, not a bad loss for Franny.
Final score of that one was.
Oh, we've got some exciting continuation down on the black mat. It's West Marshall. Sorry, I'm gonna get these guys confused most of the night. But the West Marshall kid had his kid on his back and then gave it up and ended up on his back, and now he's working back looks like we're going to be working back for a reversal. Not sure how we got that all called. That'll keep the officials on their toes for sure.
So the type of matches you do not want to be reffing. The ones that just keep going back and forth. You're throwing your hands up, both sides, nonstop.
Well, if you ever officiate some kindergarten through second graders, you get kind of used to being able to calm down and let them figure out where they're at.
Probably saw a lot of that happening last Friday during Columbus Black Friday tournament, little kids tournament Columbus hosts every year.
Well, I tell you what, I was up here for most of that too. That tournament has and still is a great tournament. And on top of that, we've seen that tournament grow into something where now those guys running the tournament, they're limiting how many people can get in. I think it was a couple years ago they ended up with somewhere around 350, 375 kids and got to stay here till about 7 o'clock at night. They decided, hey, that's great, but we're going to go ahead and cap this at 300, which was it's great for everybody because then you're out on time. You're not there till you're not there at a 12-hour session on a youth tournament. But man, I tell you what, the entire time I've been around that tournament, it's been really good competition. It's good for both some beginners and high-level guys. But Smith went out and got a takedown right away here, and then we ended up out of bounds. We got a 3-0 with a minute 48 left to go in the first period. So he went out and got some quick work done. That was encouraging to see. I think he's a freshman as well.
Yes, he is.
Yep. Still not Yeah, still no position change here. Well, they did give him reversal. They did give him reversal. So, no, this is interesting. Got a bit of a brawler, I would say. But we're not lacking on action in this match. They're moving.
Lots of effort.
Yeah, he could be out here. Nice mat return on the black mat over there.
So on the Columbus mat here, believe the wrestlers says 165-pound weight class. This is
nice
Ethan
double
Smith for Columbus as he just secured takedown, make it 7-2. And his opponent for East Marshall is Deegan Madison.
Boy, Smith just had a really nice double there. Drove up through it.
Any clue if he's a football player?
Well, I bet he is. I think I remember hearing his name a few times this fall. And, yeah, that's where the football players learn how to tackle, right? Get them in on some doubles.
Getting super high here. Need to get that arm not over top the kid's head.
Yeah, from what I've seen so far, he might be a kid that I let him cut him. Go back up. Let's see somebody stop the double right now.
See stoppage here for some blood.
A little bit of blood time. I did ask our trainer, Maddie Smith, if she had her blood kit ready to go, which she responded pretty quickly that she did. You know, it's a pretty essential part into the wrestling world is to be able to have that blood. You know, one of the few sports that we got blood time in, but that's okay. We'll get him mended up and back on the mat. Get him cleaned up. Blood time's kind of, you've got, I think it's 5 minutes of total blood time that you can have in a match. But it comes pretty quick because they will cut the blood time once they've contained or stopped the bleeding in a sense. And then all this cleanup time that you'll see is not part of that blood time. And so a lot of the times these blood times they'll last for, you know, maybe 15, 20 seconds, and then cleanup is the next minute and a half. But so I think blood time, you know, there was just like out of bounds rules have changed. It was unlimited, and then they decided that, you know, that was crazy, and then they changed the score or changed the rule and brought it back to where, yeah, cleanup is not clocked, but the actual stopping of the blood is.
I believe it's a 5-minute timer, right?
Yeah, I think it's 5 minutes.
On the
total.
scoreboard, they had 2 minutes up, so I think that's injury time. So I believe they had the wrong clock running there, but 5-minute blood time, so nowhere near that right now. So they're wiping up the blood. I believe there was 17 seconds left in the period, with Smith winning 7-4, and he will be in the bottom position when we resume.
Yeah, so far I'm pretty impressed with his motor as well. Not a lack of effort out here, and that's where it starts, right? You've got to be able to put in high-level effort, and then everything else kind of falls in place after that. Whether or not you're the best technical wrestler in the world, you'll get there if you've got the right effort and attitude out there. Well, we've got possible pin situation, cradle over on the black mat. Another West Marshall kid up on the scoreboard here at 41-0 as a team score.
Another 6 there.
You know, having that many wrestlers in the room, that can help. That can help. I'm not saying you have to have it. Obviously, we've been at programs and had quite a bit of success without having 40 kids in the room, but man, it doesn't hurt either, right? It doesn't hurt to have that level of competition in the room and several guys to go with and mix up different techniques and things like that. So whatever West Marshall is doing over there is working. But they've also been pretty good in football the last few years.
I was also going to say, even wrestling, I feel like they've always had a pretty solid program. I'm trying to pull up track wrestling, look at state last year. Have a couple of their returning place winners. They had a state champ last year, but I do not see him on the lineup, so it must have been a senior last year.
Nice reversal by Smith again. you can just kind of tell that he knows where his hips are at. He does a good job with that. Those doubles that he's working, those are hip related, right? And so you can just kind of, he looks like he's got a good feel. Obviously, the first time I've seen the young man wrestle, so, but yeah, so far, body position and where he's at, he looks good and comfortable. Yep, another possible, back on our back over on the black mat. That looks like that's going to be called a fall, and it is.
Doing a good job staying behind, not getting flipped there on the roll attempt. Give him an escape there. East Marshall's working front headlock. See if Smith can work out of that and get back to his blast double.
From West Marshall, Bryce Crawford.
Yeah.
It's a good bridge, but still not quite out of trouble. He's going to be surrendering some back points here. Gave up 4 back points. We got some more blood time here. So after that whole flurry, we got 12-9 East Marshall lead. So we'll pause here for a little bit while they clean the mat up. We're back to action here as East Marshall gets him in a headlock position. Seeing a lot of fight from Smith here, which you like to see, but that was a pretty tight headlock, and there we see the ref slap the mat with 36 to go. So that'll be 16 points for East Marshall, bringing the team score to 24-15. If they updated that, I'm not sure, I'll let you know, but currently right now the team score is 24-15.
Yep.
We had the alarm going off. Someone opened up the wrong door, went through the wrong door there.
Yeah, and looking at that match that Smith was in, obviously he was, part of that too is kind of what I was talking about the last match. Looked real good in the first period. And little match shape probably came into play, and next thing you know, we're having a little bit of a tough time staying in position. But I was hoping to see Ethan wrestle tonight, but he gets a win, I guess, and that's good too.
Yeah, Smith, wonder how long he's been wrestling. Seems like he'll be a solid. Once again, he's only a freshman, so get some more mat awareness.
A lot of good things in that match for him.
Biggest thing you want to see with the freshman is effort. Saw some good things there with his takedowns. So it'll be fun to see him progress this year in general, but also these next 4 years in the Columbus Wrestling program.
Yeah, how much difference does a freshman to a senior make in how they look and how they present themselves and how well they wrestle and how much stronger they get?
So here, looks like we have Luke Smith going up against. I'll let you know when they make that announcement, as East Marshall has 2 listed at this weight.
They're
So,
showing 215 on the board, but I believe this is the heavyweight match. Lee, 285.
yes, that's what the two rosters say here. I did not catch East Marshall's name. So we either got Alex Suarez Bautista or Cale Drury here wrestling Luke Smith of Columbus.
Columbus did secure the dual victory with those 2 forfeits.
Current team scores 36-15 as Smith gives up a takedown here. About 45 seconds into the match.
East Marshall with the pinning combo. Ran that bar over and does get the fall. 37 seconds left in the first period. Final score of the duel, 42-27. Columbus with a victory. We've got a lot of wrestling on tap for you tonight, folks. I think we're going to try to squeeze girls' duels in between boys' duels. I know Columbus girls are going to wrestle on the white mat when at all possible. And it looks like they're coming out of the room now, so we'll probably roll right into girls' matches here. Team score over on the black mat, 53-0 in favor of West Marshall over BCLUW. They are at the 165-pound weight class. West Marshall, the only team here tonight with a full roster, it looks like. And I believe there was one JV match, East Marshall versus Columbus, that they may want to run now. I think they might have skipped over that. And it does look like they're going to quick run that JV match before the girls start. First duel on the white mat for the girls portion of the evening will be Union versus Columbus. All right, Columbus's JV wrestler has been summoned from the wrestling room. Former Sailor wrestlers CJ Schumann and Carter Seliger in the building.
And that was Brandon Bolin, our tech guy on the mic there, who is now being summoned to the scores table to help get this JV match going. So a little delay here on the white mat before we get going between Columbus and Union girls teams. Dan Knipp, who you first heard alongside me had to step away, so Brandon joined in, but right now it's just me up in the crow's nest by myself. On the black mat, we got West Marshall winning 59-4.
Currently wrestling on the black mat.
Couple matches left to go as we see West Marshall there hit a nice little roll through cement mixer, looking for the pin in the first period. West Marshall secured the pin there, so they are going up 71-4 with 2 matches remaining.
Up next on the black mat from West Marshall is Dalton Hellier, and from BCLUW South Hardin is Logan Colby.
All right, looks like we're ready to go here. Looks like Brandon got everything fixed as he's making his way back up here to the booth. So we have one JV match here between Columbus and East Marshall. I'm sure they'll be announcing the names here shortly.
Currently wrestling on the white mat from East Marshall, Riker Mercer, from Columbus, Christian Lopez.
I believe I heard Riker Mercer for East Marshall, and for Columbus we have Christian Lopez. So we see about first 5 seconds in, we saw some action going place as they'll go out of bounds here. 20 seconds into the match, no points.
Low single from East Marshall. Good go behind there by the Sailors. Secures that takedown.
Christian got a little too high there. East Marshall's able to grab his leg. East Marshall switches off to a double. Still fighting. There he secured the 2 reversals, so with the 3-point takedown, Christian still up 3-2. See Christian come up. He just comes up to his feet and gets some separation, but they're going to go out of bounds. Christian will still be on bottom. Go out of bounds with 31 seconds here. Looks like we'll have a caution on. Well, I guess he awards them the caution. Sometimes JV wrestlers a little bit more lenient.
I think
So
he did give caution.
Did he? Okay, that's a very quick one.
Went ahead and helped him out, moved his hands forward to be on the line. Near fall here for East Marshall.
Starting to get tight there. There's the fall.
So now we've concluded Columbus versus East Marshall. We're going to go over to the girls. We had the boys quad for this evening: Columbus, BCLUW, East Marshall, and West Marshall. The girls was advertised as a try: Union, Columbus, and I believe West Marshall. We also have 2 wrestlers from Meskwaki Settlement coming up, and they're going to get a couple JV matches in, I believe. Brief break at the head table. There's a lot of switching back and forth between boys season, girls season. Get track pulled up. Lots of moving parts tonight.
I think this is the first in-person girl duel that I've witnessed since, was it last year when it became a sanctioned?
I believe so.
So that's when they actually started having like dual meets, right?
Yep.
Maybe? Okay.
Yep. Before that, it was like tournament style almost.
Yep.
Columbus girls rocking the same single pattern as the boys, going with the camouflage with the American flag on the back. Much brighter green on the girls' signals and the boys' traditional camouflage look. They're going with a Kelly green camo.
On the white mat from Union is Austin Kirby. From Columbus, Yarley Penarea.
I like the strategy from Columbus boys and girls there, trying to make it where opponent can't see them.
Double forfeit at 100 pounds, it looks like. First match will be at 105 pounds. Union in a double. And she'll complete that takedown for the 3 points. Sailor wrestler doing a good job coming to her feet.
Looks like girls have a different weight class system than boys do, as it says 105 on the scoreboard here, so.
And there's the fall for Union. A minute and 12 left in the first period. They'll take a 6-0 lead.
Do not have the Columbus girls wrestler there on the roster. It says open grade 9, so apologize for not having that name. We're moving to the 110-pound weight class here. Looks like Columbus gonna have a forfeit, probably gonna be quite a bit of forfeits, as looks like I'm only seeing about 6 Columbus wrestlers or so. And Union also has not had that many wrestlers either, so probably gonna be a pretty quick duel here. Hopefully we can see some matches, not so many forfeits.
I think Columbus has got 4 girls eligible to wrestle.
Gotcha.
Coach Jim in the building tonight. Either back from his sabbatical or not yet gone on his sabbatical. I'm not sure which.
Gonna guess probably not yet. Usually that's a Christmas, over Christmas winter break type thing for him. Doesn't look as tan as usual.
At 130 pounds.
All right, 2 forfeits for Union.
Forfeit.
And Columbus will get a forfeit back. We're going to get live matches, Lee, or are we just going to forfeit our way through this thing?
Looks like it's going to be quite a bit of forfeits here. Looking at the roster. 135, though. This is where we will see a match.
Final score on the black mat, 71-10, West Marshall over BCLUW.
Believe I heard for Columbus we have Trisha Bene, and for Union we have Willa Wolf.
At 135 pounds.
Yes. We see
there's a throw to her back for the Sailors.
Looks like it's just sticking with the takedown, no back points there, but we see a nice half Nelson, and we see the pin.
Oh, nice. Solid pin there for the Sailors. Just threw it to her back and got the fall.
On the white mat from Union is Taylor Baltes, and from Columbus, Josie Dean.
This will be Josie Dean for the Sailors, state qualifier from last season.
And Taylor Baltes for Union. Josie, sophomore, state qualifier last year. And I do not have the grade for the Union wrestler here.
Nice snap. Josie goes behind for 3 points.
See Josie working on top here, working a crossface. Still has minute 20 to go, plenty of time in the first period. She's looking for Butcher. Guess the turn, probably getting some swipes here. Ref not really showing it, but looking for the fall.
And she does. Good match there from Josie Dean.
At 145 pounds, Henrietta Molinero Lonigan receives a forfeit.
Forfeit for the Sailors.
That was Henrietta there, freshman, this is their first duel of the season, so getting her first high school win there in the record book. Seeing a couple double forfeits here between the teams at 155, and according to the roster, 170. We should also probably see a double forfeit, which will bring us to 190 pounds. Yes, let me see what happens here before I get ahead of myself. Right now, dual score is 24-24.
Looks like Columbus has got a forfeit, and I think that would put them out of wrestlers, and then Union's got a forfeit right behind. We're going to have a tie score at 30, and I don't know what the girls' tiebreakers are, Lee.
Don't know either. That was Emerson Peters there for Columbus picking up the forfeit there. Also a freshman, so real young. Just looking at the roster here, really young girls wrestling team for Columbus. So we got 3 sophomores and 3 freshmen. Then here we see 235 pounds. Kyra Murray is receiving the forfeit for Union, so that is making the score 30-30, I believe it should be.
Track should tell you what the final tiebreaker is. I believe that's built in.
Right.
We'll see if we get an announcement here.
I feel like Columbus would probably win just based off of
Matches won.
right or pins. I believe they went 2-0. We had 2 matches there.
Yep.
So Columbus went 2-0 there with 2 pins. So I could only imagine that they're probably going to win based off the tiebreaker. But we'll see if we can hear the announcement at some point. Once we get that info, we will relay that to you guys. Former boys wrestling coach Denny Bolin is messaging us, telling us that Columbus would win with the most 6-point wins.
Yeah, but he doesn't know the tiebreakers.
Exactly, that's what I was going to say. Facts with Denny, can never be too sure with what he says, so we're just going to wait for the official announcement. Especially fun that we can say these types of things with him not around, not to hear him start nagging us. But thank you for listening tonight, Denny. So on the other mat, looks like we have Mesquoki's couple of wrestlers going up against BCLUW, who looks like they have a pretty full girls team.
They came out in the pink boxing robes. Looks like a title fight down there.
BCLUW, they have full roster, and they also have 5 on the JV. So good to see girls wrestling numbers growing. Hopefully we can see more of that over the years as it becomes more popular. Any idea what the next boys duel?
I think we're going back to Columbus, West Marshall.
Gotcha.
I believe.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. I'm seeing West Marshall coaches and a wrestler at least here on this near side bench on the white mat. So looks like we're in a little lull of action here. So I'm gonna step out real quick, take a little breather, and be back when wrestling continues.
All right, we do have West Marshall coming back up out of the locker room. Looks like it'll be West Marshall versus Columbus for duel number 2 on the white mat. On the black mat, we've got another one of the Mesquoki wrestlers taking on a BCLUW, it looks like. 135-pound exhibition match. Mesquoki with the takedown. And we're getting near fall points there on the black mat. And the fall before the period expires. Meskwaki with the pin, 1 minute and 55 seconds. Looks like we have a couple JV matches between Columbus and West Marshall. We'll get those out of the way first. And looks like the black mat's got maybe a wrestle off taking place. 2 BCLUW wrestlers squaring off, 170 pounds. We're going to do captains here for Columbus and West Marshall. Columbus is green as the home team, and they win the toss. We're going to start all duels tonight at 106 and go bottom to top. All right, I think Columbus and West Marshall are going to start off with an exhibition match. Quick single leg and takedown for West Marshall. Put the head in the side and looking for a cradle there.
From West Marshall and Liam
Columbus, we have Liam Wenninger. And for West Marshall, we have Joe Kielman.
Kielman still off to the side. Looking for the turn. Pretty good ride here from the West Marshall wrestler. JV matches, you want your Sailor wrestler to build up and work on building the base. West Marshall does get the turn and the fall. 33 seconds left in the first period. Good mat experience for some JV guys to get out there and get a good match in. We're going to go to 106 pounds varsity matches now. Sailor should be open, I believe.
Right. I don't think it's 106. I believe we started the first duel at 130.
Yeah, they said they were going to start all of them at 6, though.
Oh, okay.
Unless they've changed their minds since I was at the head table
I guess
last.
I didn't know that was a thing. I thought you always had to move up. Maybe it's a new rule.
I don't know. We'll see what the scoreboard says shortly.
Currently wrestling on the white mat from West Marshall, Maddox Cooley. From Columbus, Liam Devine.
So it looks like we have another JV here, actually. So we have
JV again.
Liam Devine for Columbus. And did not pick up the West Marshall. I believe I heard Maddox Cooling, maybe.
Yep, that sounds right.
We have some more JV going on between West Marshall and East Marshall on the black mat.
They had 4 rounds of JV matches, so they were going to squeeze those in as they were able to. So this should be round 2, I believe. West Marshall's locked up a cradle here on mat 1. Takes the Sailor over to his back and gets the fall. 48 seconds left in the first period.
Up next on the white mat from West Marshall is Kyle Vanderwall. From Columbus is Christian Lopez.
Christian Lopez here wrestling for the Sailors.
Going up against Kyle Van Zoel of West Marshall. See West Marshall go in for double.
Does get the takedown.
for West Marshall.
Takedown and cuts him off his back.
Ball choice.
And we have an unsportsmanlike conduct for cutting the wrestler off his back.
Don't think I've ever seen that before.
Another double from West Marshall. Returns him to the mat for a takedown. Another escape. Another takedown. I've got 16 to 3. Our scoreboard says 12 to 3. I think they might have missed 4 near fall there, but when he let him up off his back. Escape. 15 to 4 on our scoreboard. And they're going to make the second period. I'm still not sure that score is right, but we're going to go neutral, so I don't think it's going to matter too much longer. West Marshall stalking, looking for the takedown, fires off another double. Gets a stall call on the Sailors. Lopez goes for a shot, and it'll get put to his back. There's a 3 takedown and near fall. West Marshall secures the fall. Lopez fought hard, comes off with a pretty good limp. And I believe that is the end of our JV matches. We should be into varsity now.
It's like ref's looking at his coin there, seeing who's going out first. So usually indicates that we're going to be going to varsity. Looks like a pretty small West Marshall here. So could be 106, but we'll let you know here shortly.
All right, somebody's got to report first.
It's like they're trying to figure out how to get the varsity switched over. Can't tell, maybe. Looks like a West Marshall coach helping out the Columbus table. Getting track wrestling figured out. right, so
we are starting at 106 pounds. Forfeit for West Marshall. They'll take the 6-0 team lead. And we'll go to 113.
Up next on the white mat from West Marshall, Landon
We do have
Gutierrez
confirmation
and
on
Columbus,
the
no
Columbus
red.
versus Union girls duel. The tie-breaking criteria was a number of forfeits. So Union won. They had one more forfeit than Columbus did. 3-4, Union takes that one on criteria. .113, West Marshall with the takedown. Cuts him
Up
for an
next
escape.
on the black mat from West
Back in,
Marshall,
switches off to a double.
From BCLUW South Harlem, Mid-Islands.
Lets him up again for another escape. Back in on a low single, sneaks out the backside. Going for a leg pass. And West Marshall gets his leg back for the takedown. 9-2. Quick escape and another takedown. Three-point takedown implemented last season. Tough adjustment for the old heads to get used to, but it does make these match scores. You start racking up the points pretty quick here. 15-4 for West Marshall.
it's like West Marshall, well, thought he was going to try cutting him there, but never quite got separation, never got a point. Still, ref gave him one there right at the end, and he was in on a shot for another takedown. We're ending nearing the end of the first period. Score is 18-5. West Marshall wrestler, we have Landon Gutierrez, and for Columbus, we have No Ray.
West Marshall looking for the fall. Already has the tech fall wrapped up. 21-5. Took him directly to his back and will get the fall. Team score will be 12-0 after 2 matches. Forfeit at 120 for West Marshall. take us to 126 pounds. Team score 18-0. Quick shot off the whistle. Nice double from West Marshall. Gets the takedown. Go to work with the armbar. And looks to run the half over and will successfully do that, getting near fall points now.
Currently wrestling on the white
4 near
mat
falls.
from West Marshall, Uriah Porter. From Columbus, Cooper DeMoss.
So we have Cooper DeMoss here for Columbus, freshman, going up against Uriah Porter, who is a very solid wrestler. In fact, won the 2A 113-pound weight class last year. They have him listed at 120 pounds here on the roster, but since Columbus was open at 120, they decided to move him up to get him a match, and there he gets the pin in about 50 seconds.
Tough draw for the freshman there.
Yep.
First home duel. You got a state champ in your weight class.
State champ bumping up to face you. See Coach Ben Hanisch talking to Cooper about it. Probably let him know that's a pretty solid wrestler he just wrestled there.
That's the level, though, right? You want to find out where you're at or what it takes.
Yep.
That's the guy. Nice fireman's carry from West Marshall. Quick takedown.
I think I heard somebody say it, but we have another good West Marshall wrestler here, returning place winner. I believe this is John Gonzalez. Placed 6th at 120 pounds last year. Wrestling 132 right now. So imagine he's probably ranked in the top 5. Don't have the rankings on me. He works a pin.
Nice little 1-2 combo they've got there.
Yep. The Columbus wrestler was Pao Fong.
It's going to take us to 138. Sailors are sending out Calvin Smith.
Up next on the white mat from West Marshall is Riley Hanford. From Columbus, Calvin Smith.
Did you catch the West Marshall name, Lee?
Yeah,
Riley.
so we have Riley Hanford here. It's going to stop the streak of returning place winners that West Marshall has because he is a freshman.
Ankle pick right off the whistle. Smith goes for a shin whizzer, but gives up the takedown.
Up next on the black mat from East Marshall is Carter Shamrock. From BCLUW South Hardin, Olin Huffield.
See Hanfield working an arm bar. About to begin some, well, maybe not. This ref doesn't really like to swipe, so you can't really tell what his back points are, but for sure got to be getting back points at
Yeah,
this
he's got to
point.
be getting back points. Looking for the fall here.
Yep.
Calvin slips out of that. Out of bounds. We've got 4 near fall, it looks like. Brings our score to 7-0. West Marshall doing a great job of attacking off the whistle. They are wasting no time getting to their takedowns. That's the 3rd guy in a row that shot right off the opening whistle. Caution there on Smith.
Up next on the black mat from East Marshall, Hayden Bowles. From BCLUW South Hardin is Garrett Brunner.
Working another arm bar. Going to be getting back points here.
Calvin pretty flexible here, but not a position you want to continue to find yourself in, getting your arms tied up.
Oh.
Still looking for the fall. Not sure how Calvin keeps getting out of that, but 4 near fall anyway.
Brings it to 11-0. Calvin needs to get his arms free, stop giving his arms up, as West Marshall's working to get control of his arms again. Like see Calvin get up here at some point and try to work his offense. If he's able to come back from this 11-0 deficit. But
that is the thing about the 3-point takedown and the 4-point near fall is you can come back from these deficits.
Calvin just got to stop momentum West Marshall kids got going, as we'll see another 4 here. So that will, we got about 5 seconds left, but that will be a tech fall. So the period ends there. Another 4 awarded to West Marshall. That is the 15-0 tech fall.
Tough match there for Calvin. Gave up the takedown, as we said, right off the whistle. And then ridden to death after that. Never could really get anything going.
We talked about West Marshall's previous 2 wrestlers there being state place winners. That kid right there, just a freshman, but probably wrestling with those state place winners every day. So I'm sure probably going to be a pretty successful wrestler this season as well, Riley Hanford. Here we'll have Juan Negretti, his 144-pound weight class. Juan Negretti for Columbus. And if the roster's holding true, it's Ben Buck for West Marshall.
Gets him in a tilt. 3 near fall there.
Up next on the black mat from East Marshall, silver blue from BCLUW South Hardin is Marshall Simmons.
Got a 6-0 lead here. See Juan trying to clamp down on that arm. I don't know if he's trying to hit a roll. I believe he was one that hit one last meet. Must be what he likes to do on bottom, but you gotta be able to get off your belly before you can do that.
West Marshall just going to throw a half in, flip him over.
Got it pretty tight here, making his way around. There's the pin. It's going to bring the score.
42-0.
Except that should be 41 since Calvin's was just a tech.
Right.
So scoreboard, not 100% correct, but 41-0 lead for West Marshall here as we go to the 150-pound weight class. We'll have Francisco Mendoza-Diaz for Columbus going up against Dutch Hillers of West Marshall.
From West Marshall, Dutch Hillers, and from Columbus, Francisco Mendoza-Diaz.
Franny's got a nice double. We'll see if he can get to it in this match. I don't think he got to it much. Not much offense in the first match.
West Marshall coming out, shooting. Wasn't the cleanest shot, but was able to make it work for him. Franny's trying to work his way up. West Marshall's tying his arms up underneath. Trying to work a version of the Butcher. Looked like he maybe got 2 swipes there. Pretty fast 2 swipes, but nonetheless, that was 2 near fall. Escape for Franny, so it's 5-1, 45 seconds into the match. Snap down, go behind, catches Franny in an awkward position, puts him to his back, and there's the fall.
Yeah, got in the shot. Looks like Franny tried to maybe switch out of that. Got caught on his back.
Up next on the white mat from West Marshall, Kenneth Gears, and from Columbus, Nicholas Rumez.
So we have Nick Barumez here for Columbus going up against Kenneth Gears, who I believe was a returning state qualifier for West Marshall. So gonna be another solid one here as he
Another
locks
quick
up
shot
the
off the
cradle.
whistle.
Granny breaks, or sorry, Nick breaks it, but still Khan's back there for the pin. Next we'll have Mason Smith here for Columbus, going up against Bryce Crawford for West Marshall.
From West Marshall, Bryce Crawford, and from Columbus, Mason Smith.
Bryce Crawford rocking the mask on his headgear. Must have some injury on his face. Never fun having to wear that.
Quick smack to the headgear. Looks like West Marshall did not appreciate that.
It's okay, he's wearing a mask, he didn't feel it.
Gonna go for the headlock here.
Mason may be able to slip, he's got a leg in.
Get behind the arm.
Just to pop that head, that should be 2 or 3 right there. So, and then kind of slips off there, so 2 reversal for West Marshall. So he's working a cradle here. Gets his knee to his head, and West Marshall locks cradle up there, working it over. Gonna be seeing some swipes. There we see, finish it off with the fall. So that brings the team score to, scoreboard says 60-0, but believe it
59,
should be
I think,
59
right?
with the tech fall earlier in the match, or earlier in the meet. That'll bring us to 175, where we will have Ethan Harper for Columbus going up against either Connor Yackel or Wilson Buckley of West Marshall. Let you know here shortly.
Ethan, medium-sized E. Harper, formerly known as Big E. Harper took a forfeit his first match, so his first home match of the season.
Currently wrestling on the white mat from West Marshall, Connor Yackel from Columbus, Ethan
Here we have Connor Yeckel of West Marshall.
Harper digging an underhook.
Working ground. Go out of bounds there. Works a shot. That helps Ethan work the underhook in once again.
Digging another underhook straight back out of bounds. Tries to circle in.
Another one of those. Probably see a stall call.
Looks like he's getting a talking to.
Guess we're college. You probably see 2 stall calls there for Ethan. Or in favor
Harper's
of
in an
Ethan.
over-under situation, it looks like.
Seems like Ethan really wants to go into those upper body holds where he wants to be comfortable.
Oh, we got a body lock from West Marshall.
See if Ethan goes straight back, able to at least get off his back, not give up any back points. So 3-0 West Marshall, 50 seconds to go. And you see Ethan start to move on bottom, work up to his base, get out here for the end of the period.
Looks like he had hand control for a second, let it go. Going for a side roll.
Going for a roll. Needs to be careful though.
Oh,
Gets one, kept his
away.
feet in bounds.
Lost control out of bounds. Back to his feet. Nice escape there from Harp. Harper's looking a little more agile on his feet than he did from past seasons. We're both familiar with him. He's been around the program for a little while here.
Ooh, we can keep that foot. If he keeps that foot, he's able to hold on to it. Got about 10 seconds here. We'll probably see a stalemate.
Yep, potentially dangerous there.
Ethan started pulling on a little bit. 7 seconds to go here. Would like to see, well, there we saw, might need to finish it better there. At the end of the period, Ethan just kind of went down to all fours. West Marshall kid worked his way behind, but luckily time ran out. As a coach, probably want to see him finish the period
A little stronger
in
than
a
that.
better position than that. I'm assuming West Marshall went down there. I missed it, but got out, got the escape, 4-1. I was gonna say that I would like to see Ethan do a little bit more on his feet here, be the aggressor, take the shots. On bottom now, he's looking for the roll. He needs to be doing a little bit more movement before he can hit that.
He was looking pretty good until he lost that body lock position.
Yep.
Over the summer, Ethan graduated from basic training, headed to the Army upon graduation. West Marshall getting near fall and will get the fall.
Up next on the white mat from West Marshall is Damon Ficken. From Columbus is Carlos Cavajal.
Carlos Cavajal here for the Sailors.
Damian Ficken for West Marshall.
Carvajal almost got the takedown. Kind of went 50-50, ends up on his back. And a fall for West Marshall.
That'll take us up to 215 pounds, where Columbus does not have a wrestler, and we'll see Dalton Hellier here for West Marshall take the forfeit. Take us to heavyweight, where Luke Smith will be wrestling Jacob Dare of West Marshall.
West Marshall wrestler taking the forfeit. Make sure he turns for mom up in the stands. Get a good angle on the pitcher. Do it for the gram. All right, final bout of the duel. We're going to 285.
Dare coming out, firing, charging at him.
Quick snap down and go behind.
Working 2-on-1 on Smith's left arm.
Roll through tilt.
Don't see that too much at this weight class. Did not get anything there though, just one swipe. ball and chain here, trying to get a tilt. Work Smith over.
Is going to get some swipes.
Sounds
Like a 3 count.
I'll make it 6-0 here, 45 to go in the first period. Luke works his way up to his base. Dares kind of drives him over to his back. And
Quick
some more
peek at the
swipes.
clock. 30 seconds to work with here.
Lets him off his back there for near fall. Makes it 10-0, 20 to go. Trying to work a cradle, I believe. Maybe a leg cradle. Looking like a leg cradle. That is a leg cradle. That's the foul.
Gets the fall on a leg cradle. That's one for the cameras. Final score of this duel, 83-0. Wes Marshall wrestled a really nice duel.
Nearly perfect.
Looked like the Sailors were just not ready for that early offense. You'd like to see as a coaching point, come out and match intensity a little bit. And Wes Marshall, credit to them, they came out and took it to us on that one. Attacked early, attacked often, and that worked out well for them. Over on the black mat, we are tied up at 18 apiece through 144 pounds between BCLUW and East Marshall. As we're going through handshake lines here in the white mat, I think they're going to switch back to another girls' duel here.
Pulled up the IWCOA preseason duel rankings. I do not see West Marshall on there. I'm assuming they're 2A, but would not be surprised at some point they can crack the top 24 before the end of the season. Seems like they have pretty solid wrestlers, so pretty solid team there.
Yeah, pretty solid up and down. Strength of the lineup is obviously right there smack in the middle with your state champ and state place winner. Lee and I will take a short break. We'll leave you with West Marshall and BCLUW on the black mat. And we'll be back for action whenever we start here on the white.
So we're getting started here with the girls meet between Columbus and BCLUW, I'm assuming, with the team that's on. No, actually, this looks like Meskwaki. This is Meskwaki and Columbus here. So it looks like Columbus wrestler able to take her down to her back and some swipes. Got 2 back points there, make it a 5-0 lead. Once again, Meskwaki only has about 2 wrestlers that I can see here. 1 wrestling right now, so should be a pretty quick duel. So we see Columbus wrestler called for technical violation for locked hands. 50 seconds left in the period, up 5-1. Good job breaking down the Meskwaki wrestler there. Trying to work for a half, can't quite get her hand up on top of her opponent's head. Doing a good job controlling the wrist, switching back, trying to go to a cradle. Brings her back down. Working a half Nelson here. Still not quite able to get it though. Tough ride as final seconds of the period close out here. Be a 5-1 lead for the Columbus wrestler going into the second period. It's Meskwaki's choice. They're going to defer. Columbus's choice. They're going to go neutral.
Up next on the black mat from East Marshall, Alex Batista. From BCLUW South Hardin is Brock Holland.
So we get to the end of the East Marshall BCLUW duel on the black mat. Looks like BCLUW is winning and going to win that duel 42-24 with the heavyweight match left here. Meskwaki was able to work takedown there. So Columbus still holds the slim 5-4 lead. Minute 12 seconds left here in the second period. Columbus wrestler elected to go both on their feet, so must not want to be on bottom. So we see her get half turned over to her back. There's the fall for Meskwaki. So that brings up next match here. Announcers have not really said who the names are yet, so once again, Meskwaki only has 2 wrestlers, so
Riley Roberts from Meskwaki and Henrietta Molinero going in from Columbus.
so I did not pick up the Meskwaki wrestler's name. It's not on the roster here either, but we have Henrietta for Columbus at 145 pounds.
Takes her over to a cradle and gets the fall. Meskwaki didn't bring a lot of girls up, but the ones they did brought are pretty tough.
Yep. So, Coach Dean coming over, shaking hands with the 2 Meskwaki wrestlers and the 2 coaches. So now I would assume we'll probably get BCLUW and Union. Not sure if that'll be on this mat or if we'll just wait, since once again East Marshall BCLUW is on their last varsity match there. 285 pounds. We're in the second period here, minute 15 left. We see East Marshall there just work a takedown, so that brings them up 4-0 in this match. So we'll let this match play out. Watch the Union and BCLUW girls wrestle, then we'll be back when Sailor Wrestling returns.
All right, we are back with Sailor Wrestling action over on the black mat. Looks like we've got a couple JV matches. Quick takedown there for Wes Marshall. Continuing their trend of firing off the whistle. Got 4 near fall there. Columbus just needs to build the base and try to get back to your feet, get something going on offense. Looks like referee holding 4 near fall and gets the fall with Wes Marshall.
Up next on the white mat, Adrian Carpster from BCLUW and Kyra Murray from Union.
Another Columbus versus JV match here on the black mat. Dives into a double. Gets the takedown. Right in front of the home Wes Marshall bench. I give him a nice cheer of approval. Looks like he's got the ankle hooked. Columbus wrestler bellied out. This is where you'd like to see your guy work on the basics, get hand control, stand up, get your one. Girls duel on the white mat, just finishing up over here. Looks like a final score of 60-18. BCLUW going to take that one over Union. Ten seconds left. Wes Marshall working on a cradle. Rolls it all the way through, but still finding back points. 1 second left. Going to survive the period. 4 near fall brings it to 7-0 after 1. Green's choice. Green takes top. Does a nice job getting the chop, bellying down. Looks like he's looking to tie up a wrist. Trying to decide between a cross wrist or a half. Throws a leg in. Had the leg for a second. Wes Marshall clears that. little bit of a stalemate here. Columbus unable to break him down. West Marshall unable to stand up. Now Columbus gets him to belly down. Working on an arm bar. Lets that go. We're going to do captains and coin toss over here on the white mat. Columbus loses that toss. BCLUW shows an even matches. They'll report first. And we have a reversal over on the black mat, brings it 9-0. He's got an arm bar, he's gonna run that. Looks like he's gonna get some swipes here with 8 seconds left. Short time, and will not survive the period. 1 second left on the clock. West Marshall gets the fall. And I believe that concludes JV matches. Nope, one more JV match, excuse me. They're going to run a Columbus versus East Marshall JV match. Little confusion.
Don't think track wrestling tables got to be ready for that.
No, seems unlikely, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway, it looks like. Low single from East Marshall. Switches off to a double, pops his head out, nicely done. As a whole tonight, Columbus has not been ready for the early offense, it seems. West Marshall in particular, but all the schools here are firing offense right off the whistle, so might be something that needs to be addressed in practice here next week. East Marshall looking for a cradle. Looks like he's got it locked up. Takes him back and is getting swipes. Just a 3 count, I believe. 3 near fall for East Marshall. Brings it 6-0. And we get the fall. 1:08 left in the first period. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think that actually is the end of the JV matches. That'll take us to varsity. Columbus versus BCLUW on the white mat. Start at 1:06. Columbus will be open.
Looks like BCLUW will also be open at 1:06, so we'll have a double forfeit.
Double forfeit, nice. So we'll go to 1:13. Del Rey fires off a single, gets the leg up in the air. Unable to keep him in bounds. Lets that go, and we're back on our feet.
Good to see Columbus wrestler, though, going out, taking shot first.
Yep, got to the leg, got it up in the air. Did the hard part, really. Just has to finish now.
Needs to work inside here right now. BCLUW wrestlers got that inside control. Able to catch No Ray in a weird position for the takedown.
Looks like he tried to go for a slide by and missed it.
He tried going for a switch there, got caught in his butt, got driven to his back here. Got a minute left here, so it's going to be a tough fight. Needs to try working on an arm through. Claiming his opponent's body to get off his back, get to his belly. BCLUW kids catching his arm, not letting him get through. But it does help that BCLUW.
There they get the fall. 43 seconds left in the first period. Nove started off good. Couple attacks. Got kind of caught in a weird spot and ended up on his back. Long time to fight off there, but did a decent job of trying to get his arm through and keeping his shoulders off the mat.
BCLUW will probably receive a forfeit. So, isn't this 120? No. Yeah. So they should receive a forfeit here at 120 since Columbus is open at 120 tonight. That'll take us to 126, where we will see Cooper DeMoss for Columbus going up against Garrett Brunner of BCLUW.
Brief hold up at the scores table. My guess is they had Cooper checked in at previous match at 120. There we go, scores table remedied.
Brunner working front headlock, head inside cradle. Oh, just trying to go around now and successful for the 3 takedown.
Cooper's got to get his head up and look away. Just going to run a simple half here. There you go. He's got that arm pinch. Now he needs to build up. Well, going for the 3/4. Going to get it too. And the fall. Baited him into that one. Couldn't get it with the half. Hooked that ankle and cranked the 3/4 half over.
So I'll bring up Powell here for Columbus versus Marshall Simmons. coming out shooting, gets to a high crotch, trying to cut the corner. He switch off to a double, gets
There
the
you
2
go.
or 3.
Nice takedown there by Powell.
Working a half Nelson.
And gets the wrist. Well done. Going to get some swipes here. Looking for the fall.
Should be here any second now.
Really, really nicely done. Comes out, got the shot off early successfully. And a simple half and a wrist. Cranked him over.
Get to hear that bell ring here.
Up next on the black mat from West Marshall is Don Gonzalez. From East Marshall, Total Bird.
Brings our team score 18-6, Sailors Trail. Calvin Smith here at 138.
Next on the white mat, Connor Teckenberg from BCLUW. From Columbus, Calvin Smith.
Calvin Smith versus Connor Tecklenburg for BCLUW. Nice to see Calvin get back on track here. Get to his offense last match. Didn't really see too much from him. Nice little slide by there for 3. See him go on top with the legs, go to work. Gets both in.
This is more of the Calvin we're used to seeing.
Yep.
Get to the offense early. Hyper aggressive.
Figure 4 in the leg. Trying to look for a turn. Try and go with the power half here. Tecklenburg doing a good job fighting it off.
Currently wrestling on the black mat from West Marshall, Riley Hanford. From East Marshall, Max Silford.
Like to see Calvin get a half in on that side right there. He's starting to turn a little bit already to the left. You'd like to see him put a half in with that left arm. Now he's getting a little too high. See what happens here. Looks like we can maybe begin some back points here. But
Picks up. There he goes. Gonna climb on top.
worked out here. Ends up getting the pin.
Got a little high there, was out of position for a second, but was able to fight back, get his hips back on top, and ends the match with the fall. Much better from Calvin in that one. We talked about he didn't really have a chance to do anything his last match. Gave up a takedown immediately off the whistle, but this match got to his offense first and proved successful.
Up next on the white mat from BCLUW, Parker Pagel. From Columbus, Juan Negrete.
So we have Parker Pagel for BCLUW versus Juan Negrete.
Parker entering a single, switches it off to a double. Returns Juan to the mat.
Juan working to his belly, did a good job there. Arms getting tied up. Doing a good job so far. Needs to fight hands there, be heavy. Borderline locked hands there, but no call.
Thought he might have had a switch opportunity there, but opted to belly out. BCLUW coaches calling for a butcher. The wrestler obliges.
Working it. Needs to get his, no weight on your hips. Need to come up.
Getting
That's
some
it.
swipes
Getting
here.
some back points, I'm assuming. Once again, you can't really tell with this ref. But there's the pin, so.
You're right, this official does not give swipes.
Very subtle hand movements.
Team score 24-12. Sailors will send out Franny.
Up next on the white mat from BCLUW is Camden Farrell.
We have Camden Farrell for BCLUW. BCLUW South Hardin. I guess I should throw South Hardin in there too. Franny being the aggressor, pushing him back. Taking ground. Like to see him get to one of his blast doubles. Nice little snap there to a front head. Little throw by attempt. Nothing out of that encounter, but good action by Franny. Being aggressive. Like to see on one of these snaps him lower his level and go in for a shot.
Definitely keeps moving forward.
Moving forward. Definitely looking like the aggressor. You see points from it at some point. BCLUW wrestler trying to slow him down, getting wrist control. He's got another front head opportunity. I see him snap him down to the mat there, but he releases him instead. So, minute 20 seconds into this period. Still nothing to show.
He's got to that front head twice now. Really like to see him execute that. When you get your opponent in the front head, you're definitely in the advantageous position. Dives in, grabs an ankle. Gonna go behind and get the takedown. Fundamentally, probably not how you draw it up, but Franny able to make it work for him.
He's looking for the fall.
And he gets it.
6 seconds left in the period.
Nod to the coaches in the corner. Franny pretty fired up about that one. Over on the black mat, team score 35-0 on the 144-pound weight class. That is West Marshall in the lead over East Marshall.
Up next on the white mat, Ivan Clemish from BCLUW and Nicholas Brumez from Columbus.
So here, 157, we got Nick Brumez for Columbus versus Ivan Klemesh for BCLUW.
Nick's doing a nice job holding center.
Like to see a little bit more. I guess
There you go,
snaps
snap
there.
down, go behind.
Go behind good. I was going to say hands were a little stationary there, just on that collar tie, but I guess it worked out there. In the future, you like to see him moving hands.
The opponent turns
collar
back
ties.
into a crossface. Usually not a good idea.
Got stalling green. I was looking away there. I'm assuming was he holding on to his ankle?
I mean, his opponent reached back and grabbed the head, and then Nick tried to come out front, and his opponent grabbed his ankle. So he had an ankle and a head, and I'm not really sure how that's stalling on us, but I don't think we were going to do anything with that position anyway, so it probably is going to work out all right. The BCLUW wrestlers begging for a half to be thrown on him.
Head hunting. Nick needs to jump
Just
to
needs
the
to
side.
get out to the side and run that thing.
Still needs to get to that side. Not going to be able to half him from the opposite side you had the half on.
I don't even think he needs to do the breakdown, really. I think he can just get out and run that thing. This guy's wanting to go over.
Probably. It's also be a nice one where, kind of like what we saw the BCLUW wrestler a couple matches ago with that three-quarter Nelson. Seemed like one Nick could probably hit on this kid. The head buried into the mat like that.
Nick's choice, he's going to go neutral here. Leads 3-0 after the first period.
Probably go back to that collar tie snap down like he did in the first one. BCLUW kid backs straight up after the whistle.
Takes a shot. We're going cow catcher to his back.
Not able to get any swipes there.
No swipes, but we did get the takedown. He leads 6-0.
I was gonna say, Columbus coach is doing what I was thinking. At this point, probably let him get up. Give him his point, and I'll go get 3 more. Need to be thinking about bonus
There
points
you go,
here.
sweep single.
Dual score right now is 24-24. You're gonna need some bonus points.
Be 9-1.
Not quite.
Did not cut him.
There.
Should be stalling on bottom.
Wow. I mean,
Nick just needs to
stand there
back
with that.
away there.
Or he could just stand there holding him like that and probably would get a stall call. Look for a half there. He can get it.
We're stopping that for potentially dangerous. I don't know what the potentially
I
dangerous
don't know
was
either.
there.
I don't know.
Well, we couldn't see it from up here. Match score still 9-1, 43 seconds left in the second period.
They can jump off to the side there, hit a half. He just really likes the half from this left side, apparently. He can get it there. He needs to sink it. Starting to get pretty tight. I think he's going arm on the back. You'd like to see him scoop the head with that arm instead. But I guess in the end it works.
It just seems like that match was primed for, all you got to do is pick a turn, any turn. Glad to see Nick get the pin there.
Up next on the white mat from BCLUW is Bowtown. From Columbus is Mason Smith.
So Columbus takes the lead in the team score 30-24, 165-pound weight class.
So this is Mason Smith versus Bowtown. Bowtown, if I remember correctly from my quick research on track wrestling last week, or not last week, last meet, believe I saw Bowtown was a returning state qualifier. So tough match here for Mason Smith, a freshman, making his first varsity start. As we see Bowtown get the takedown.
Takedown, he's got a cradle locked up.
Leg in, cradle locked up.
Going for the spladle, maybe?
I don't think he's just doing a cradle. The leg. Now he's trying to go for guillotine. That's the word I was looking for.
3 near fall. Coach Scarborough asking for explosion off the whistle.
See a roll through tilt there, had a 2-on-1. Town is able to roll him through there. Shows ref that he doesn't have the same hold, gets his 4, works for another turn. Gets a cradle locked up. He's gonna try to, I guess we'll see. He'll either knock his hips over, take him that way, or he'll try to do a roll through. Take him straight back. Smith trying to roll all the way through, unable to. We see some more points coming BCLUW way, and there's the fall. 16 seconds left of the period. Brings team score to 30-30.
Medium size Ethan Harper. Going to get a forfeit?
Believe so.
Second forfeit on the night.
Yes, BCLUW does not have a 175 on the roster. So now we'll have Carlos versus Damian Ficken.
Up next on the white mat from BCLUW's Cash Styles, from Columbus is Carlos Carvajal.
And we see Ficken work a takedown. Foot still in bounds with the new out of bounds rule, I believe last year's rule. As long as any part of the body is inbounds, then wrestling will continue. Looks like Carlos was able to avoid any back points there. So 3-0 as we went out of bounds, 20 seconds into the match. Carlos working a sit out, working up to his feet. Great job there, clearing, gets back in there. So we got a 3-1 match. Good job by Carlos exploding out, getting free. Shot by Ficken there, gonna be another takedown. Carlos kind of slipped off of him.
Up next on the black mat from West Marshall.
He's got no weight on his hips. Yeah, knee slide and stand up. I said, now get away, get your one.
Could get one, but tried to go into him, and now still possible.
40 seconds left to work.
Sprawl back some more. Needs to stuff Ficken's head inside. Usually don't want the wrestler's head on the outside there when you're trying to sprawl. So that gives him that angle to cut and just kind of roll to
Needs
his
to not
back
get
there.
pinned here for team score purposes.
Starting to get tight. And there it is, 14 seconds left in the period. Brings it up 36-36. 2 matches to go, well, 2 weights to go, I should say. Columbus, we're gonna be forfeiting at 215. BCLUW will have someone there to receive the forfeit. So it's going to come down to 285 pounds. We'll see Luke Smith of Columbus coming up against Brock Collins from BCLUW. So right now, 6, 42-36. All matches have ended in 6 points being won or scored by either team.
Up next on the white mat from BCLUW, Brock Collins, from Columbus, Luke Smith.
Both wrestlers fighting for wrist control. That's going to do it for Columbus boys. Final score of this one, 36-48. BCLUW taking home the victory. On the far mat, the black mat, we've got a score of 71-3. They're on their last match as well. It's going to be West Marshall with the clean sweep of the evening. (71-3) over East Marshall.
Can't remember what West Marshall's score versus BCLUW was. I think BCLUW only had like 4 points, so 3 duels for West Marshall. I think single digits allowed. It's a pretty solid squad they have there this year.
We're back with the JV match, Columbus versus BCLUW. Columbus doing a nice job holding center. BCLUW takes a shot on a double, good sprawl out. Get into a front headlock situation, goes for a gator roll. Unable to execute, gives up the takedown, finds himself on his back. Goes for the high octane move, doesn't come off. Sometimes those work for you, end up on the highlight reel. Sometimes you end up on your back. High risk, high reward. That'll conclude Columbus boys. It looks like the girls will have one more duel. The Columbus girls versus BCLUW. Coin toss is green. Columbus wins the flip. They're trying to read lips. I think they chose even. Starting out at 100 pounds. BCLUW will send out Layla Price. She'll receive a forfeit. Final score on the black mat, 75-3, West Marshall over East Marshall. Layla Price does take that forfeit and brings the team score 6-0. It looks like BCLUW has a full roster. Columbus does not. £105 for BCLUW, Haley Robinson. I do apologize. Columbus roster shows open at this weight. Goes for the headlock, doesn't come off, gives up the takedown, 3-0. And the reversal puts her to her back. I believe we're getting back points. I don't see swipes from the official. And the fall. Nice little reversal there. Goes on top and ends the match with a first period fall. 1:08 left. Team score 6-6. Columbus is open all the way to 135 pounds, it looks like. BCLUW will send out Tatiana Fikes. Receives a forfeit. And at 115 pounds, Chloe Neal, freshman, will also receive a forfeit. At 120 pounds, Sophie Rundle, sophomore, receives a forfeit. 125 pounds, Bailey Gardner, a junior, will receive a forfeit. £130, Cassidy White, freshman, receives a forfeit. £135 for BCLUW, Santa White, junior. And for the Sailors,
Up next on the white mat.
Trisha G., a sophomore.
For BCLUW is Sienna White. For Columbus, Trisha Bainey.
Trisha fighting for inside control in the collar tie. Good sprawl. She's defending a high C. Doing a nice job with the crossface. And we've got blood time. She was 99% of the way around to secure that takedown, but no points awarded. Quite a bit of blood on the white mat. Coach Dean asking about the 3 points for a takedown. Referee says no. She backed off, so no points awarded. All right, blood cleaned up, and we're back. 1 minute and 22 seconds remaining in the first period. We're scoreless. Another single attempt. We're back in the same position as we started in. Inside collar tie for the BCLUW wrestler. Staying right inside that center green circle, jostling for position. White in on a shot there. Unable to execute, and we're in the front headlock now. She comes back up her feet. Each wrestler's got a wrist. But we are still neutral. We'll end the first period 0-0. Red's choice. She's going to go on top. Nice little set out. Hunts the head, almost gets it. Still working, but gets bellied out. And gets cradled over to her back. Pretty tight, and we'll get the fall. 1 minute and 22 seconds left in the second period. It'll be Sienna White winning by fall. 140 pounds.
Up next on the white mat, Layla Wedgwood from BCLUW.
We have Layla Wedgwood, a senior, versus Josie Dean, sophomore. Little ankle band confusion. Green team and home team is probably going to be green ankle band. Josie Dean returning state qualifier. Double attempt from Wedgwood. Josie does a nice job stuffing the head. She's going to whip her to her back. Nope, not to her back, but gets the takedown nonetheless. 3-0. Looks like she's got a cross wrist. Now she's working a bar arm. Hunting for a wrist over there, gonna run it now. Got 44 seconds to work. Brings her back the other way. No back points, but has her bellied out now. Still has the arm bar. Gonna try to go for a double here. Head lever, she's not quite in the tricep. Gonna go try to power half here. Short time, 10 seconds left. Breaks her back down. No back points there, but a solid ride from Josie. She leads 3-0 after one. Josie takes neutral to start the second period. She scored on Wedgwood's shot first period. Let's see if she can get to her offense here in the second. Wedgwood again with a double. Can't bring her hips with her. She's getting stretched out here. Back to her feet. Josie's in front head. Slips off, goes to a single. Pulls that around. Foot up in the air now. Josie down to her knees. Needs to bring that back up. Hanging on tight. Could transition to a double here. And does finish the single. She leads 6-0. 1 minute remaining in the second period. Comes up, runs her opponent out of bounds. No change here. 38 seconds left to go in the second period. Tight waist, her opponent spins in. Gets bellied out. Dean going for a head lever. Wedgwood sucks that arm in. Now she's transitioning to a bar. Power half. Short time. So it's going to be Wedgwood's choice here in the third period. She trails 6-0. She's going to take top. Not super surprised by that. She's got taken down twice on her feet and been ridden for the better part of 4 minutes. So she's a little sick of that, going to go on top. Josie's up to her feet right away. Almost gets that escape. She'll get lost of control. She's going to try to go around for a reversal, pick up 2 points, and she does. 8-0. A minute and a half left. Tough ride, looking for a wrist. Pretty tough ride from Dean here. She's not scoring points, but she's looking pretty tough on top. Definitely in control of this one. Pulls her into a tilt. Granby attempt. Gets stuck on her shoulders, but no count. Referee says it was a roll through. .45 seconds remaining in the third period. Pulls her into a tilt with a 1 count. Tighten that up a little bit and try again. Still got that bar. She's searching for that wrist. She's got her arm passed through her opponent's belly. Now she transitioned to a double arm bar. She's just going to run that thing with 15 seconds left. And we're getting swipes here. Josie will try to sink her hips, and she does. Really close to a pinfall here. Short time. Not going to get the fall, but she is going to get the win. 12-0 major decision. Josie Dean, the sophomore, over Wedgwood, the senior. BCLUW leads 36-10.
Up next on the white mat, we have Cheyenne Simmons from BCLUW, and from Columbus, we have Henrietta Molinaro-Belonigan.
That takes us to 145 pounds for Columbus. Henrietta Molinaro-Belonigan, the freshman, versus Cheyenne Simmons, the senior. Henrietta gives up the single, bellies out. And we give up the fall. 1 minute and 29 seconds remaining. At 155 pounds, Taya Hollingsworth, the senior, will receive a forfeit. At 170 pounds, Megan Hollingsworth, a freshman, will also receive a forfeit. That'll take us to 190 pounds for Columbus. Emerson Peters, a freshman. And for BCLUW, Caitlin Dykes, a junior.
Wrestling from BCLUW is Caitlin Dickus. From Columbus, Emerson Peters.
Quick takedown. She's going to run a butcher. Puts Emerson to her back. Fighting hard. Needs to get that arm through. And we'll end the match by fall. 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining. Our final bout of the night. That'll put us to 235 pounds.
At 235, Adrian Castor receives a forfeit. Ladies and gentlemen,
Adrian Castor, the senior, will receive a forfeit. Final score of the duel, 66 BCLUW and Columbus 10. I'm Brandon Boland from B2 Productions. Thank you all for being with us tonight. On behalf of my broadcast partners, Lee Hansen and Dan Knipp, we'll see you next time.